Artemus Toast here along with,
Little Test.
and it's time for another reaction to stuff. You know, uh, me, Mrs. Toast, and Little Toast, we've been watching a lot of videos on the YouTubes about like abandoned places. Um, and we were watching one not too long ago by a YouTuber that calls himself Sal. Um, well, he happened to visit a local mall, well, local to us. You know, so we decided to pop in and visit it too. And that's Century Three Mall near Pittsburgh. Which it kind of really surprised me that one. We have a local mall that's pretty abandoned, but you kind of in a small rural place you kind of expect that. But this was a pretty booming mall. I mean, do you remember going there?
Yeah.
What do you remember about it? Like,
I remember that my favorite thing there was like a bungee jumping thing. Not really a bungee jumping thing, but you were like hooked on a trampoline.
oh yeah, yeah. Yeah, that was there. There's like
Escalators was always my favorite.
yeah, escalators. Well, the escalators were still there, but in the words of the late great Mitch Hedberg, uh, you know, escalator could never be out of order. It could only become stairs.
Stairs.
Yeah. Um, but anyway, they were off, so I had to actually use them as stairs.
Even though there's stairs right next to them.
Yeah. There's no electricity to the escalator. There used to be a carousel there.
Mm-hmm. They take that off, right?
Well, yeah, it wasn't there anymore, but you could see kind of like
Where the
the
circle.
yeah, the impression where it was on the carpet. And you'll see in the background there's some footage. But I didn't do like a walkthrough video because
Some stores were open.
well, we were there on a Sunday. They were gonna open. They weren't open yet, but they were still in business.
Yeah.
But it was surprising when we first pulled up that I thought this mall was completely closed. It's there. It's almost there. I think what'd you see that was open?
I seen like a clothes store.
There was J.C. Penney.
Yeah, like the in malls.
There was a couple of things that were still open. I remember you could see upstairs there was like some kind of cell phone store. I can't
Yeah.
like it might have been Sprint or Verizon.
I know there's a jazz store still open over there.
Yeah, that was that closed store. Yeah, a closed store called Jazz Store. Well, anyway, digressing here. And once again, the reason why we're not doing a walkthrough of it because they're already on the YouTubes, and I mean, I just even though I watch them, we watch them. I think it'd just be really boring to watch us walk through a mall pointing out vacant stores. You could already see that, I guess. But you know, how do you feel about that? In my day, malls used to be the place to go.
I'm actually kind of sad that it's closed because I remember it like yesterday that we were there.
Yeah, it wasn't that long ago. You're not that old, and just a few years ago, we built a bear there. I remember we did that. Yeah, and they had the toy stores, and it's weird seeing it today. Like it's like a ghost town.
Yeah.
It's and like you said earlier. It is kind of sad. And why do you think these places are closing down?
Because of other stuff like um, online stores.
Yeah.
Like a lot of places that are like there's more varieties of.
Yeah, one thing I noticed, we went to the waterfront today. I noticed a lot of the places that they're not very far apart, just minutes. Century Three Mall and uh, where the waterfront is in Homestead. Um, you know, I guess the good news is a lot of those places that you used to see Century Three, there's like another version of it, or the same store just happens to be in Homestead. So there's some positive to it in that aspect that yeah, online probably destroyed a lot of the business, but maybe the fact that there was another location so close,
Maybe.
Um, another thing we got to do today that I haven't done in a really long time is we went to an actual bookstore. Um, my bookstore is usually my Apple device. My library is my Apple device. But it is cool being able to actually buy a physical copy of a book. Instead of just having a download on your phone or your iPod. you know, uh, I mean, you like going to bookstores. That was your idea. I mean, how do you feel about that as far as, you grew up in the digital, you're growing up in the digital age, so you missed a lot of, for the most part, you missed a lot of that stuff, but, I mean, you obviously like going to the bookstore still. Why is that?
I don't know. I just like reading a lot. So, and obviously we're not allowed to have like your friends and stuff in school, so we can't do that.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. Yeah, that makes sense.
But and we have this thing at school where we read a book and take tests on them, and we have to collect points.
Okay.
So I like to read for that.
Oh, so I mean that's a good thing. So I mean, in some way, since at least at Little Toast School, she can't have electronic device in class. So schools are still keeping physical books alive. And of course libraries, but you know. I myself have hundreds of books. I like to read a lot. Bought a book today. But I'm not gonna lie. I like the convenience of having unlimited books. In an iPad size or a iPhone size. I mean, but at the same time, it's nice having actual books that
I feel like if you read an actual book, you actually accomplish something.
Well, I
And
mean,
that's what it feels like to me.
yeah, I guess because there's the it's a more physical activity. It's actually a physical object. You have to I guess that makes sense. Like you get more satisfaction from that than just like I guess reading your Apple screen. I mean, I guess it's kind of the way I feel with like music. I kind of like it's way easier and it sounds way better to listen to a song on the MP3s. On the Pandoras, the Spotify's, the whatever all those things are, but I kind of like the action of taking a record out of the sleeve and making sure that everything's nice with it and moving the needle and actually. Yeah, I get what you mean, and I was going on a rant about it. I'm sorry, but I gave you like a whole step-by-step thing. But I see what you mean. Reading a book is like playing a record. There's easier ways to do it, but sometimes it feels like more of an accomplishment if you do it. Well, I talked quite a bit. I apologize, Little Toast. You have anything else to add?
Not really.
Well, I'm gonna ask you one more question. Like, do you think there's still gonna be physical stores around, ones beside the Walmarts,
Targets.
yeah, the Targets, I mean, like like stores like that, they have everything. But, specialty stores like bookstores or music stores, I mean, do you think they're going to be around much longer?
No.
Yeah,
Honestly, no.
I don't either. That's kind of sad.
But I'm pretty sure like grocery stores and all that.
Oh
will be
yeah,
still around.
yeah, well, yeah, without a doubt. Yeah, it just seems like the specialty stores that concentrate on like one thing. They're unless it's something you need. I mean, you're always gonna have shoe stores. You're always gonna have stuff like that. But as far as I mean, there's less hobby shops. There's less record stores. There's video stores are kind of. I mean, they're gone. You know, it just, I guess digital media is kind of taking all that over. But anyway, thanks for listening to my rants. Artemus Toast out.
Little Toast out.